Hey, 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 what is going on, Switchboard family? How are you guys doing? We are back with another great interview today. I'm super excited for this one because it's actually a little bit different. I am meeting with Murph, also known as Murphjestic, and he has an actual real name, but I'll let him tell you that if he wants to, if you talk about that. He is coming to you guys from Decentral Games, and it is if you looked at the thumbnail, you noticed that his picture was a little bit different. It was an avatar, it wasn't an actual headshot picture. And so that's kind of alluding to the type of content that he streams. So if you want to find out more about Murph and what he does and what Decentral Games is, definitely let us know in the chat. And you can see Decentral Games in the link down below. But I'm going to bring him on. What is going on, Murph? How are you? Murphjestic, what's popping?
I'm good. Thanks, Aaliyah. So I go by Murphjestic in Decentraland. So
Yeah.
Decentral Games is
Yep.
in Decentraland, and it's a virtual space with 90,000 parcels, and all the assets, in-game assets, land, wearables, all the items are on the Ethereum blockchain and Polygon. So it's all blockchain, crypto, Web3 environment.
Gotcha. So is that kind of like, for those of us that don't know, is that kind of like the metaverse? Is that a good way to explain it? Like, can you break it down a little bit more, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm like heads down on this all the time.
No, it's all good. All good.
It's one of the decentralized metaverses that has been active since the beginning of 2020.
Yeah.
So basically, I run virtual events in the Decentral Games space. So we host, we have some gaming venues. We're a Web3 gaming company with Ice Poker, which is a Texas Hold'em 6-person table type game that is NFT gated. So if you have any of these clothing items, you can step into this virtual space and play cards with your friends to win crypto and prizes and things like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, not my realm. I like to think of, I guess I haven't advanced to that part of it yet. I like to call myself a nerd and stuff, but I'm not there yet. Even with crypto in general, just something that I'm not there yet. So, with that being said, talk to us a little bit. How did you even get into, I guess, crypto, into this space? How long have you been working with Decentral Games? And what exactly do you do there?
Sure. So I've been with Decentral Games since October 2020. I was just part-time, actually managing their communities and Discord and some other socials. And then I came on full-time to run all of our events in February 2021. So essentially, we'll have anywhere from 4 to 10 events a week, and we'll stream in different content, have whether it's guests, concerts, we've had stand-up comedy, we do interviews with artists, do art showcases since it's like a 3D environment, and all types of different things like that. I found Decentraland, which is where Decentral Games lives. So
Okay.
it's kind of thinking about Decentraland is like the world of Sims, or the
Got it.
entire it's the world itself. So everything is kind of inside that. We're on about 250 parcels, which is the land,
Got
and
it.
there's
Okay.
90,000 in the world. So we're just like a small piece of a big pie.
Gotcha. So parcels could be maybe like so I am a banker and I do mortgages. So if I were to apply it, maybe like acres, right? Like a parcel is kind of like an acre, and you sit on an acre of land, you have this many acres. Is that a good
Yeah, totally.
correlation
It's a
maybe?
measurement. Yeah, exactly. So except they're not as large. The
Right.
parcels are
Yeah.
16 meters by 16 meters. So
That's so
um,
cool.
it would be cooler if we got a little bit more for each piece, but
Yeah,
that's where we're
yeah.
at.
Yeah. So to get in, is it like you sign up? Is it a membership you have to pay? Like, how does that work if I wanted to go in and start in this land? Like, what do I do? What's the process?
So for Decentraland,
Yeah.
you can jump in with a URL link just in the
Yeah.
browser. To check it out, you don't have to have any crypto knowledge. You can come in as a guest. You
Okay.
just set up your avatar and you run around like you would in any other game.
Okay.
If you wanted to collect, get custom clothing, say you wanted to buy land, do anything that have any type of ownership,
Yeah.
then you would need to have an Ethereum-based blockchain wallet.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Very cool. So with that, the segue is, so now you stream this, right? Like, how does Switchboard Live, I guess, come into play for you guys with the content? How does that work?
So Switchboard Live it's critical for everything that we stream into the world.
Okay.
So Decentral Games. So like I said, we have this poker game. We have about 2,000 daily active users. People come in with their avatars, playing with their friends. And, part of my job is to provide entertainment and different engaging type of activities or experiences for them. And as well as our other community that we have going on. So Switchboard is basically my hub where I bring in the different sources, whether it's the DJ, whether I'm going to be streaming from like OBS or something like that. And then from Switchboard, I can push it to the different venues that we have. So we actually stream through theta.tv.
Okay.
And then, so the sources like the DJ or myself comes into Switchboard, and then I push it out to different Theta channels that then I show in the different venues that we have within Decentraland.
Got it. All right. So what I'm thinking, we need to just show a visual is what I'm thinking for people who don't know, right? It probably makes a little bit more sense if maybe we show a visual.
So first I'm going to show, because this is live, I'm in a venue that is empty right now that we're using for an event tonight, actually. But I'll show kind of what the streaming looks like in world, and then I'll jump over to one of our venues that actively has people in it playing, so you can kind of get a feel for, what a busy scene would look like.
Gotcha. All right, perfect. All right, so let's see. I'll see. As soon as it pops up, I will switch to that scene. Let me know. All right, it's coming up. All right, so cool. All right.
So basically, this is what we call the Coliseum, and we have a lot of screens around here. So essentially, the idea is to be able to come to one of these tables, playing a game with your friends, and no matter what table you're at, you can enjoy whatever is playing on screen. So basically, I'll receive whatever the source is. We'll go to Switchboard, and then I push it from there into these scenes. So like I say, this is a closed venue. So this is one of we have like 8 or 9 venues. 4 open right now. So let me jump over to a little more populated.
Okay. That's pretty cool. And so the guy who was at like the poker table, the little frog guy, is that a real guy or that was just
no, that's a non-player character, NPC.
Okay, an NPC. Got it. I know a little bit.
So that's our Pepe, so,
Okay.
Be tough on you. All right, so this is what we call a stronghold. Let it load it up. Unlike most games that people are used to, it loads in real time. There's not a preload.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, we can see the tables coming up, and I just saw now the people, actually, the avatars coming in. That's pretty cool.
So this is all live. People are playing right now.
Yeah.
It's an NFT-gated game. So you can see on the walls, we have different events. So like we had this partnership event we had yesterday. So we'll stream in a DJ for that. We have this different a special group of our community likes to do these little poker games on Thursday evenings, which is later tonight, and we do like some fun promos and things for them.
Yep.
Um, and in this room, so up on the top, on all four sides of this venue, where it's all black right now, is where our screen will display.
Got it.
So
okay.
You can see and hear everything going on as you're enjoying your time with it.
Got it. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, so let me bring you back up. That is super dope. And I know we were trying to figure out the mute wasn't. There you go. You took off. We had to figure out. We were having some issues before, because it's live with the mute, but we are good now. Yeah. So that is okay. So those were like poker games and stuff. And so is it gambling with is it gambling with like crypto and stuff like that? Like, is that with the account? How do you win? How does
actually, there's no actual gambling involved. So basically, yes. So you have like a NFT, one of the outfits, which gives you access to the game.
Yeah.
Pretty low cost to get in. And then you play to complete quests. So so a quest may be see the river 10 times or get so many pairs and things like that. So different tasks within playing Texas Hold'em poker. And as you beat the quests in the ice poker mode, you win small amounts of crypto. And depending on where you are on the leaderboard, there's multipliers for that and things like that.
Oh, wow.
And then we have a separate mode, which is more of a Dave and Buster's kind of model, which is like an arcade, and which we call Ice Poker Arcade.
Gotcha.
And that one, you use Shine, which is like tokens to play at an arcade. And you play these 6-person tournaments, and then the winner of the tournament wins badges. You trade in your badges for different prizes within the marketplace. So maybe NFTs, crypto. We have like in real life stuff like hoodies, things like that. So it's pretty big, elaborate ecosystem, but there is actually no actual gambling involved.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I am not ahead of the curve on this one. It's very interesting, very fascinating. It also reminds me of, like you said, Sims. It reminds me also of like Roblox. And Minecraft, right? Like how now I saw, the characters, the avatars and stuff, and I just thought of my nieces and my nephew playing Roblox and running around and doing all of that stuff.
Those are all metaverses too, right? It's just really it's that 3D kind of immersive virtual social experience.
Gotcha. I do see Michael is in our Facebook community. Michael's also a Switchboard Live user. Michael is asking, hey, Michael, first of all, hi, thanks for joining. Michael's asking if this is our town hall. This is not our town hall for today. I still do the town hall. So Thursdays is a very busy day for us at Switchboard Live because we did kick off this interview series where we interview you guys, our Switchboard Live users in the community. And so that is on Thursdays at 12 or 12:30 Eastern Standard. And then at 2 o'clock, I do a town hall where I demo our product, and you can join us live on Demio and ask questions and things like that. And that's at 2 and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. And so if you're not registered or you want to hang out with us, you can register at switchboard.live/town hall. So basically, I get a little bit of a breather after my interview with Murph, and then I go straight into teaching mode about the product. So,
cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Just with some of the changes and stuff, that we've done, and really trying to do a little bit of outreach, trying to do some stuff different. And so I do that every Thursday. Still trying to get some traction around it. But it's worked, especially for the newer users that are trying to figure out, is Switchboard for me? How do I set it up? It really is a really good platform to have you come in and interact and ask questions. It's kind of like a really fancy Zoom webinar. That's the way I like to look at it, because there's a screen share and you can interact. You can come on screen if you want to and ask the questions. So super, super cool stuff. But anyway,
that's great, especially with this type of tool. It's much easier to get a little hands-on help.
Exactly. Exactly that. Yeah, exactly. And we thought about, should we just host it in like a YouTube or, in Facebook or something? And we really liked, there's a lot more, because it's like a webinar style format. So I can post polls, I can provide like PDFs, I can provide links, and I can prepare something ahead of time And then just for, tracking purposes, you get a copy of the replay. So the aspects of the application that we use, it's called Demio. It's actually really good for that style format instead of just sharing it. And then what I usually end up doing anyway is I end up sharing it to our social profiles to kind of, if somebody maybe didn't register, but it piques their interest, then it's like, all right, well, come hang out with us next week if you only caught a little snippet. So.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. So let me get back into the interview questions. Thank you so much for explaining what that is. So obviously you talked about how Switchboard fits into that. How long have you been using Switchboard Live for? How long have you been a user for?
Early 2021, I believe.
Okay. And how did you find us?
Actually, one of the guys that helped get me all set up on the back end, he got it all set up for me. So
very cool. Word of mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of taught me how to use it. And then he transitioned off.
Gotcha.
Now you guys hear from me.
Gotcha. Well, Rudy loves you. Rudy loves the stuff, how you guys use it because it's so different. So, we're always intrigued to see like the streams and how our users are really finding ways to capitalize and use it. And I think Decentral Games is probably one of the most unique ways as well. So let's see. So in terms of encoder, like production software, what you mentioned it already. You said OBS. Is there anything else that you use to send, get your feed in and then send that out to us?
So if I'm providing the source, it's OBS.
Okay.
But often I'll have different encoders depending on who's sending me the signal. So it'll be sometimes it's DJs.
Yeah.
Sometimes Decentraland there's a lot of community focus. In Decentral Games, we're really deep into that. So we'll do some collab streams with some other communities within the space, and so just depending on what we're doing, we'll really kind of change on what the encoder is being used.
That's pretty cool. That's cool. Okay, so let's use the example of the DJ. So the DJ, you get, whatever the DJ they say, all right, on Thursday night, 7:00, they're going to come in. They're the DJ for whatever it is you have going on. They send you the signal. So what do? Do you give them the RTMP stream key? How are they, I guess, what information is it that they're getting you guys? How does that work for it to come in to you?
So I share from the workflow, I share the keys so they can send the signal to me. And then we push it to theta.tv and that's where they're the hosting that we pull into Decentraland. And we also have been using the stream to Twitter feature too, which has been really cool.
Very cool.
You showed me that one.
Yeah. That's super cool. So you're kind of like the remote producer on the back end. People are sending you to stream, and then you're just handling everything and making sure it goes out and looks the way it should. Right.
Absolutely. So I'm making sure that we're receiving the right things, they're going to the right places, and they're stable.
Very cool. All right, cool. I'm loving this stuff so far. What would you say on average, how many destinations, I guess, are you sending it to? Like, what does your workflow look like when you're setting up your Switchboard Live?
So I think my workflow has about 5 groups.
Okay.
Most are one channel. Somehow one has 4. So we'll usually play anywhere from one of the venues to 4 of them at once, depending on what's going on.
Gotcha. And so will each group have a different, do you send out a different stream to each group, or is it the same stream, but it's just different destinations, I guess?
Yeah. So most of the time it'll be the same stream.
Yeah.
But Rudy did help me figure out a way to do so we could do 2 streams to 2 locations.
Yeah.
And then which was really cool because originally I couldn't figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
And now it's and it's nice, it's almost a backup as well, because with some of the products we use, and if we have because there's so many pieces where there can be failure.
Right.
And having a backup channel to be able to push it if we need to it's been critical.
Very cool. Yeah, that's why I asked, because I feel like it's definitely one of our hidden features. When I found it, I found it when I was giving the demo, actually, and I like stumbled across it, and I'm like, because it's one of the, obviously I got the training and Rudy showed me, but I think it really isn't until you apply it yourself that the light bulb goes off, and it's like, oh, this is super cool. And so being able to, so if we talk about, I try to give examples when I do the demo of how they would put that into real life. If we talk about you, I would think, just for our viewers, right? So what we're talking about is that if Murph, let's say, has two different venues and DJ A is going to do a party on venue A, right? And then DJ B is going to do a separate party at venue B. Those two different DJs, real life people, can send their two different streams to Murph and his Switchboard Live account, his workflow. So he's getting a DJ from New York, and then he has a DJ from LA. And then he can send out those two different streams to different parts in, Decentral Games. So whatever it is. So if somebody wants exclusive access for the DJ that's in New York, like, right, it's a feature that I don't think a lot of people really realize. And for someone like you, because other people are sending you their feeds, that can be really cool. The, I guess, how you can really customize and use it. Because then you become, you're at the command station. You can see all the streams coming in and just pick and choose at that point. Can really go down the rabbit hole. I love that stuff. So stuff like that I love nerding out about because it can be really, really cool.
Yeah, it's actually really neat too, because we can have like, so a main stage area, say, or main venue. And then we do is, because of the blockchain technology, depending on what you're wearing, can actually let you into a certain space or not. So say I have a VIP jacket or whatever you want to call it. It'll let me into that room, and then I'll have a second stream, or I can have a second stream of like some, like we had a Luna, she put out, you could listen to her track before it was released, and you had to have her NFT to do that. So we had this special space that only people that NFT could get in and then experience this, track before, for a week or so. And it allowed for that, kind of special access.
That's
type of, experience.
So again, right, exactly. When you think about stuff like that, like you said, the different clothes and having the different access NFT, having a pre-release or something like that, and it puts you in different sections. And the fact that we can help you do that, that's like really, hold on, I have a sound effect somewhere. Mind blown. Exactly.
Yeah, and all of that wouldn't, there would be no point in doing that if we couldn't stream in her music. So yeah, no, that's super dope. So what would you say is your favorite Switchboard Live feature? Rudy? No.
No.
He's great. I get to reach out, and he's very responsive.
You get a prize.
No, actually, I think the coolest feature that pops into my mind is the Twitter feeds. So I need to actually use that a little bit more, because there's usually so much going on. But it's, so when I send the signal to, say we have a DJ in one of our lounges, I can at the same time on a different channel, it'll automatically push it to our Twitter page, and we have it set up where it'll make the announcement of that DJ, and then it'll, we play it live on there as well. So, it helps capture more people's attention. It pulls people into the venue, or, some people just like to experience it from Twitter.
No, that's super cool. Yeah. And Rudy is definitely one of the best features of Switchboard Live. He's always available, always knows all the things. He has a great personality. I love Rudy. Super awesome. I get a prize for just giving brownie points for my boss. Exactly. You do need to get sound effects. Are amazing. Listen, because I do live streaming, I live for sound effects. I'm all for, we can get it popping.
Yes. I need the horn.
Exactly.
I need that for
exactly.
meetings with my cohorts.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Okay. So I know, and I cheated because we spoke a little bit last night during our tech check, so I do know the answer. But viral stream share. How much do you know about it, if you know about it, and have you used it before?
Not enough I don't know enough about it, and I don't think we've used it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's why I asked that question. It's a trick question. Because
Yeah, we've talked about it.
right.
We
Yeah.
haven't used it.
Okay, very cool. And so we recognize at Switchboard Live, we recognize that that's not something that we've necessarily talked about a lot. So viral stream share is basically every Switchboard Live user has their own. Once you create a viral stream share group, the way you create a normal group, when you create a VSS group, you get your own link, and you can send that link out to other people, and then other people. So let's say for you, if let's say you have someone who's sponsoring a show and they have their own channel and they're sponsoring, you can actually send them that viral stream share link. They can connect their social platforms, so like YouTube, Twitter, things like that. And then when you're at your command station and you're sending the stream out, you can choose whatever platforms they've already authorized, and that stream that they're sponsoring can show up on their channels. So for instance, if we as Switchboard Live were to sponsor, let's say, a big show that you guys had coming up and we wanted to put it on our features, you would send us your Switchboard Live, your viral stream share link. I would go in and I would connect the platforms for Switchboard Live. And once you go live, you connect that. And what's even cooler about that is kind of like with the templates and the groups, you can create its own template for, let's say, if you and I, if I'm going to sponsor something for you, you can create a template just for Switchboard Live and say, check out one of our sponsors, or the language would come from us. So you're typing it in the template, but you would say Switchboard Live has sponsored this event tonight, so that when it shows up on our YouTube channel, it looks like the language is from us, but you controlled it. So I saw the wheels turning. What were you going to say?
No, I'm just going to start using that. Like, I know even our DJs would love to be able to push it just from their channel, like Twitter and
exactly,
and things like that. So it's just, I mean, as I'm sure you understand, there's lots of things going on.
Yeah. No, I get it. But now, so that's why I like to talk about it. Mm-hmm. And I get to that's why there's a method to my madness. Hold on, I'll make you laugh a little again.
There's a method to my madness.
I do, because I do like to find out about you and how you stream your content, how you're using Switchboard, because then it becomes easier for me to make viral stream share make sense for you, right? And so exactly that with the DJs and stuff, if they wanted to stream it to whatever platform that they have, you send them the link. What's really cool is then where right now you do have the ability to customize the page name, as well as, so it's the name of the page and then a little bit of a description, so that when you're sending out that link, it sounds like it's coming from you, right? And then one of the things that we're working on is that we are actually in the process of giving you the ability to customize the page a little bit more if you wanted to do maybe some branding and things like that. So cool. When someone clicks on that link, so what I've personally done is that I have my own domain name. So I took the link that Switchboard gave me, I host it under Rebrandly, which has my domain, and then my viral stream share link is indiad.live/VSS, right? So it's very simple. And I direct anybody to it. It's also mobile friendly, so I can text that link to someone if we're already having a conversation. Here's my viral stream share link, and then they can on the fly put their socials on. And then once you log into the cloud, it shows up of who's already authorized under that group. And then you can move around the destinations the way you would within groups like so. So it's super cool. Super cool.
I'm gonna check that out a little deeper.
Yeah. Check it out a little deeper, and you know how to reach, obviously, Rudy. And now you have a connection with me, so if you need help. Yeah, exactly. You'll hear from one of us. Very cool. All right. I guess so. We'll end it. We're coming up at the end. Two things. You said that you found us 2021, right? And how long have you been at Decentral Games? I'm sorry, I don't know if I caught that.
Right then. So basically, this is the tool we've been using since we started.
Very cool. So in terms of like the pandemic and stuff, how would you say it was affected? Did it like catapult the business? Like how's that been since then? Because I feel like everything is just blown up, right? With what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. So especially Decentraland, which, allowed for Decentral Games, it's pretty wild just with COVID, I think it just a lot of people, are sitting at home, and
Yeah.
after a while you start looking for social experiences, and this really had offered that, and
Yeah.
really picked up and went crazy. And it's died out a little bit, but it's steady right now. But yeah, I think COVID was a huge factor for
Yeah.
increasing the user base for all this.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I recognize not everything is always perfect. Not everything is always like peaches and stuff. If there's anything that you feel like we can do better, any feedback, anything you would want us to incorporate, what would that be? Because Rudy is listening. And because he loves you so much, he might implement it ASAP.
Actually, the only thing is, I don't know, a couple months ago or something, all the analytics disappeared from the source. So, and it's not critical, but it just helps with troubleshooting. So like the bit rate and those from the source, from the encoder.
Okay.
Those little, it was what was it, the bit rate, so the kbps, and there was another one on there. But so if the first thing I would check if like it was lagging or maybe it's any
Gotcha.
issues with what we're receiving at, and then I think with the updates that either got moved, I don't know where it is, or it's just
Okay.
but yeah, if any way to be able to just check those analytics real quick would be amazing.
Perfect. So I think that stuff, and we talked a little bit last night, I think that stuff was moved prior to me coming on board. So I don't recall seeing them. So I'll circle back with Rudy and see if they moved, or I know that we are working on our analytics in general. Like we're working on better reporting. So after the stream is done, you'll get things like how many people checked in and what was like your peak viewers at what time, or peak.
Yeah.
So that is something that we are currently working on with that stuff. But I also hear on the other end, like as the stream is live, it's also important to know what's happening. So one of us will circle back with you on that.
Yeah, no problem. And clearly it hasn't been too crazy because I would have reached out a lot earlier.
Right. Well, that's true. Yeah.
A problem. It was just kind of nice to have as a quick check. But
okay, very cool. All right. Any parting words? Anything I can help you with, or anything you want to tell the community? Any plugs you want to give? Free reign.
Yeah. Come check us out in Decentraland. We're Decentral Games. You can check us out at decentral.games, app.decentral.games, and we're on Twitter. Thank you, Switchboard, India, and
thank you,
Rudy, for sure. It's been awesome working with you all for the last couple of years. So
awesome.
It's been fun jumping on the call with you.
Yeah, perfect. No, thank you. And thank you for rearranging. I know I had some stuff going on. Normally we do it a little bit earlier, so I appreciate your flexibility. I did put the link for Decentral Games down below, so you guys can just click on that, find out a little bit more. And that is all, my friend. I will catch the community. So again, I talked about it earlier. I do have a 2 p.m. demo. So in about 45 minutes, I'm getting ready for that. We do that every Thursday. We will be back next week for someone else who'll be on the Flip the Switch series. Murph, I appreciate you. And everybody have a good weekend. Bye, everyone. Bye, guys. All right.